When firefighters arrived at the scene, they didn't rush to extinguish the fire. After all, the building was about to be demolished, so there was no need to risk their lives. However, just as they were preparing to watch from a distance, a teammate patrolling the area made a shocking discovery. There were many empty bottles at the base of the wall, and at the entrance, there were numerous cans used for anti-theft alarms. It seemed that someone was living in the abandoned building. Just then, two small vagrants crawled out of the ventilation shaft. One of them was a girl who said there were 5 more inside and urged the firefighters to go rescue them. Andy tried to check on the girl, but she resisted fiercely. Not only that, she crawled back into the burning building, insisting on leading Andy inside. With no other choice, Andy called his teammates to follow her into the building, with the girl leading the way. They quickly found 3 of the homeless children, but 2 were still missing. At this point, the fire inside the building was growing more intense, and they had to control it immediately. Unfortunately, when the team members outside opened the nearby fire hydrant, they found there was no water inside. The situation was critical. What should they do? At that moment, Andy noticed the fire sprinklers on the ceiling. Perhaps they could activate the sprinklers to extinguish the fire. Hearing Andy and his teammates' conversation, the little girl immediately said she knew where the switch was. Without waiting for Andy to react, she ran ahead to lead the way. Sure enough, with the little girl leading the way, they quickly found the switch. Meanwhile, teammate Jake also found the last 2 homeless children. However, the flames were too intense, and they were trapped. Jake called out to Andy, telling him to quickly open the fire sprinkler. However, the moment Andy opened the valve, something strange happened. A single drop of water from the sprinkler caused the flames to explode. At first, Jake thought he had seen it wrong, but then a second drop fell, followed by a third. However, it was too late. As the unknown liquid sprayed everywhere, the flames in the hallway instantly grew. Andy realized something was wrong and quickly closed the valve, but the fire was already out of control and they were all trapped. When the captain outside heard about the accident in the building, he was so anxious that his face turned black. Unfortunately, the dispatch center reported that it would take another 2 minutes to supply water to the fire hydrant. Seeing the severity of the fire, the captain didn't dare to waste any time and immediately grabbed a fire extinguisher and rushed into the building. Thanks to him, he managed to clear a path through the flames, allowing Jake and the others to avoid being engulfed by the fire. However, the captain's equipment was limited, and he could only rescue some of his teammates. Andy and the others were still trapped in the fire, as their oxygen was about to run out and they were about to suffocate. Water finally reached the fire hydrant. Seeing this, the people outside quickly opened the water cannons and sprayed water toward the windows of the building. Finally, the fire was brought under control, and Andy and the others who were trapped were able to escape safely from the fire. Every mission of a firefighter is accompanied by unpredictable dangers, but fortunately, they have teammates they can rely on. This is also the key to why firefighters are able to complete their missions successfully every time. Everyone survived the disaster, but Andy blamed himself. He didn't understand how a fire sprinkler that was in good condition could be filled with gasoline. His action of opening the valve almost killed his teammates. The captain found him and said he had just asked the building owner, who revealed that they had added antifreeze to the water supply system to prevent it from freezing. At that moment, Andy finally breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed he would be able to sleep soundly tonight.